Hello, fellow followers. Welcome to FanZcene, the newly remonetized FanZcene, the physical media show. Welcome. And with me tonight is Lindsey, the Cynical Geek, and Tom Connors from some channel called Midnight Savage After Dark.
That's just a vicious rumor.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where that got started, but you need to put it into that, Tom.
I know, right?
Thank you guys for being here. I'm sure everybody start coming in here soon. You know, we are running a little late, but that's okay.
That's
it
my
happens. That's yeah. Tom,
I'm overnapped.
he's a boomer, so.
Well, at least it's not like Gary Beekler late, which is like half an hour, close to an hour.
Yeah, on Nerdrotic time, we're doing pretty damn good.
We're pretty good. Yeah, true that.
We're early. Shit.
Right?
Y'all should be thanking us.
That is true. And I appreciate you guys for being here tonight. And like I want to tell everybody in the chat and audience who's watching and who will watch, I have been remonetized. So I just wanted, I'm just really excited about that because I didn't think it was going to happen. And it surprised me. It was an early Monday surprise, and it just came out of the blue for me. So I was happy for that. Anyways, before we begin, is there any new releases that you guys heard about that you want to talk about before we start showing our picks?
There really wasn't a whole lot in new release news this week, other than the little snafu with Dune. I, for some reason, got the 2K version sent to me, and I heard a few people who were getting editions that had 2 copies of the bonus disc and no movie in it.
Wow.
So I don't know how widespread it was, but yeah, interesting to hear. But no, so I don't have Dune on 4K to review this week. Otherwise, I would have. Now I got to wait till September. It's on back order and out of order. Like you can't get it like Best Buy and stuff anymore. So like hopefully Amazon gets a new load this next week. I don't know what happened, but they were real quick to work with me on the phone. So this must be something they may have been aware of. Because like this is the quickest I've ever dealt with Amazon, where they've been like, "We'll give you a refund." It's like, okay.
So they knew. Like,
they but I want my 4K Blu-ray, and they're like, "Well, we can't help you with that. You'll have to reorder it." Oh. And then you go in there, and it's out until like September 11th. So yeah.
Huh.
So other than that, there was just the news of the uncovered footage from Halloween 5.
Yes, and I did a video on that, and it's actually killing right now. So
awesome. So check out that video on that. Then there's no reason for us to get into it.
Yes, check it out. If for anybody who doesn't know, they've got some Dr. Death footage and stuff they're going to be showing on there. So check out the whole video I made for the full details. But I did hear Dracula Dead and Loving It is coming through Shop Factory.
Yes. I saw that. I'm
happy for that one. I like that movie.
I love that movie. It's severely underrated.
It truly is.
It just does not get enough love like some of Mel Brooks's other movies.
No, it's not the best either. But
yeah, I know. Yeah, it's not.
It is his last film, I think he ever directed, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it?
Yeah, if you think about it, yeah.
I think it is.
I always liked it. I always thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, because it's newer than Men in Tights.
I think he just quit after that. No. Dracula Dead and Loving It was like his last movie.
It was 1996.
Yep, 96. I was going to say 7, but that's probably right.
All right. You guys, I don't know if it's me or what, but it just sounds like you guys are breaking up.
No, it's just you, man. At least on
it
mine.
Must be me. It must be my crap messing up on me. Tyrell says, finally, that's the last Brooks film and last to come to Blu-ray. Yeah, so that's his last movie to come to Blu-ray?
Cool. Well, they need to start doing the rest of at least his better movies in 4K because Spaceballs ain't enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We need some. I'm surprised no Blazing Saddles.
Blazing. I know, right? Like of all the films, you'd have thought that'd have been the first. Because Warner has released it 20 fucking times now.
I know. You can't get it on a 4K.
I have given away copies on Blu-ray because I have so many.
Yeah, because you'd think that like Blazing Saddles or Young Frankenstein would be like the first to be released on 4K. But what do I know?
Yeah, I know, right? Like it would make sense.
Right.
Yeah, they even did the 40th or 45th or whatever anniversary here, like a couple years back. Is like that'd have been a good time to release it,
right?
I don't know. But we'll see. Maybe in the 50th. I don't even know what it is now. What year did that come out again?
74, I think. 74,
74. So we're
75.
past that
Yeah.
now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they missed that window. But we got Spaceballs, so that's enough, I guess. Which I haven't really technically watched yet. I checked out for a few minutes, but that's the only reason I haven't brought it on the show yet. But speaking of,
yes, let's get to the first pick of the night. We'll start with you, Lindsey.
All right. So turn my camera on. Hey guys, might as well share one of my movies, one of my favorites from childhood. That being Arrow's release of The Last Starfighter.
Oh, I love that.
Nice.
Yes.
Which comes with a movie poster.
Oh yeah.
A double-sided movie poster. Check this out.
Absolutely nice.
In fact, I'm trying to decide which side do I want.
Speaking of a movie that has been mastered in 4K but doesn't have a 4K release. Yeah, there's the 4K master version, but
yeah. That's a good one. I have that one too. So which side do you like better?
I don't know. I love them both.
I like the OG.
Which one?
Yeah, me too.
That's true. The OG is.
Because at least you.
But I do like the new computerist type.
That looks like it would be like the remake poster of it.
Yeah, it sort of does, doesn't it?
Like this summer, the movie you loved is being remade.
And this time it's an all-female cast.
And an Xbox.
God, don't encourage. I don't need that. And there's supposedly there's a sequel reboot in the works. So I'm a little nervous.
They've been working on that for 4 or 5 years now.
Oh, really? Because I remember
talking about it a while back.
Yeah, because I remember the news on it. I thought it was last year, but
I think it finally got some movement on it. But the guy who was behind it released a bunch of concept art and stuff a couple years back, and presented the idea that it would be like a quasi sequel reboot kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the guy that did Rogue One and the original writer of The Last Starfighter were supposedly been working on it.
I didn't really mind Rogue One. I thought it was a decent story, so I guess that's leaves me a little bit optimistic.
Do you mean Gareth Edwards or the other guy?
I don't know.
I can't
remember.
Gareth
Edwards is the guy who gets credit for Rogue One, but then Ty Burrell or whatever hell that came in. That's not his name.
Yeah, I don't think it was the guy that came in and reshot everything. I think it's the original guy. But yeah,
that would be Gareth Edwards, who also did Godzilla.
Yeah, Gareth Edwards. I think it's Gareth Edwards. I think it was.
But yeah, I watched the DVD was it a couple months ago, and the picture quality was pretty is good. I mean, it's Arrow seems to put a little bit of TLC into their.
Well, this one, comes from the negative. I believe they did the 4K master from.
Yeah, it's a beautiful picture.
Yeah, it's just the picture quality, the sound, oh my goodness, it's one of my all-time faves.
Can't blame you there. Can't blame you there.
A lot of special features on there.
What is there? You know what? I haven't watched the bonus features on here. What else?
There's all the stuff carried over from the old Universal disc, plus a couple new things on there, I think.
Oh yeah, they got ooh, did I see talk about the arcade game, which I got to play a replica of at a local arcade convention here a couple of years ago. It's a very challenging game, but
nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to show, because I think I got pictures of it. I'm gonna have to show pictures sometimes.
I completely lost you guys. I can't hear either one of you.
Can you hear me now?
There. I think my internet's fucking with me tonight, and it's pissing me off.
Did you unplug it and plug it back in?
Have you tried turning it on and off again?
I don't know what it is tonight. It's acting wonky. It hasn't done that in a long time, and Tom knows. He's been
Which is funny because you're coming through as clear as a bell on my end.
I know.
Normally you're all
mine too.
Yeah, because otherwise normally you're oh.
Yeah, that's weird. Tonight I'm coming in clear, but you guys aren't, and I don't know what it is. But I liked your pick, and yes, I heard about the arcade.
Once. Oh, sorry. I said you haven't crackled once.
I know, that's weird. Yeah. That's what. But you guys have been crackling, and I can barely. It's like you guys start crackling, and I can't.
Now you know how we feel, Greg.
My apologies.
All right, I guess I'll go.
Okay.
For those who know, the Warner Archive made some big announcement that they, were shutting down certain things or whatever. Well, all they really did was move everything over to Amazon. So since all that hullabaloo, I got one of my first archive titles, and it's actually one of my favorite movies growing up. One Crazy Summer.
I love
John
that.
Oh, that is a
Cusack,
good movie.
Demi
Oh, that's one of
Moore,
my favorites.
directed by Savage Steve Holland. Probably his most popular or most well-known film outside of what's the one he did just before? Better Off Dead. It is kind of almost like a quasi sequel to Better Off Dead. I mean, it's not the same characters, but it's almost the same kind of tone.
Right. Yeah.
Very similar way it's presented with the whole kind of wraparounds with animation and stuff. I love this movie. It's unapologetically hilarious. It's a really bad movie at times, but it's like a living cartoon.
Oh my God. It's like, I loved that movie as a kid. It's hilarious. It's like, oh my God. It's so funny because you've got like, John Cusack, and then you've got Curtis Armstrong, and then you got, the guy that played
Bobcat
Niedermeyer.
Goldthwait.
Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yeah. And then the bad guy is Niedermeyer from Animal House.
Niedermeyer. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie. I saw that Warner Archives was releasing. I'm like, oh my God, I've got to get that movie because I love that movie.
Yeah. I mean, of course, they didn't really do anything to it. It didn't get anything extra. It's got the same audio commentary from the DVD before, but, it's nice to have. Picture-wise, it looks all right. I don't think it's from like a 4K master or anything, but it looks decent. I mean, Warner always does a really good job with their transfers. It's almost like Warner has to go out of their way to fuck up a transfer. They're like one of the few companies that generally takes great pains with their transfers. Like, there's only one movie of theirs that I think I imported a different version of, and that was the Christopher Lee's Dracula, the original. Mm-hmm. Because for some reason, I guess the US version is all tinted, an oddball color, but the one that I imported doesn't have that tint on it. So, but otherwise they're like exactly the same as far as features and wise. And I don't think there's any features on the American version, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's one of the few times where I rarely would go outside of Warner's own releases. But no, for the movie, I mean, little pricey since it's from the archive collection, but considering it's a movie I've been waiting a long time for, I'm glad to have it finally on Blu-ray.
That is so cool. You know what? I don't think I have any Warner Archive movies in my collection. I know my dad raves about Warner Archives because I guess I've heard that there's a lot of out of print movies that they like to
or like lesser known films. Mm-hmm. Yeah, stuff like that. And when they closed down the actual store here a while back, I bought a buttload, like a stack of them from the archive. So I was like, oh crap, better get them now. I didn't realize they were going to migrate over to Amazon, which is kind of cheap, but whatever.
I heard most of that. I know I dripped out there for a minute, but yes, One Crazy Summer is one of my favorites. I'm not a huge fan of John Cusack, I will be honest, but that is probably my favorite John. That and Grosse Pointe Blank are probably my two favorite John Cusack movies.
His buddy in this is Bill Murray's brother.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Brian Doyle Murray. Oh my God.
Oh, not Brian Doyle Murray, but
his other one.
Shit. God, I'm just dropping everything tonight. Fucking A. Just before we started, I dropped a bunch of shit. God, which one is it?
Wait,
can't remember his name. I think it's Bill. Bill's brother, younger brother, Joe. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow, who was he in the movie?
He's John Cusack's best buddy.
Oh, really?
The one who gets trapped underneath the seat in the sand. Yeah.
Oh, that's Bill Murray's brother?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yep. I can't think of his damn name, but yeah, it's Bill Murray's real life brother.
I know who you're talking about.
He's one of the younger ones. He's been in Scrooged and a bunch of other things. And
yeah.
Groundhog Day. Yeah, he's the one who's going out to see the groundhog today.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, like almost all of his brothers are in Groundhog Day, which is funny. And yeah, Glinzer. I didn't get the Lionsgate one. I can't remember who released it, but it's a Region B one. Maybe it is Lionsgate, but I don't think it was for some reason. I'll have to bring it on the next show. I've got a ton of Dracula movies. Maybe for Halloween, I'll dig up all my, I'll show the stack of different Dracula films I have in preparation.
Confession to make. I have not seen any of the Hammer Dracula movies. Yeah, I need to.
I was kind of those were the ones I kind of grew up on as a kid. Like I remember seeing on TV, and I never saw them in any specific order either. Right? Like my dad was like, "Oh yeah, Dracula's on." You just flip it on and it'd be one of the horror Dracula movies, you know. Never was, I couldn't even tell you which one. So I went and bought them off through the Warner Archive deal when they had the sale. And the only one I didn't get was Horror of Dracula, which is the very first one. It's known as Dracula everywhere else but the U.S. So
yeah,
they're actually pretty decent, though. Christopher Lee plays a really good Dracula. Peter Cushing is awesome as a Van Helsing, probably even more so than Christopher Lee as Dracula. And considering I love Bela Lugosi as Dracula, I mean, it's, you know, Christopher Lee is a close second.
Yeah, Bela Lugosi and Chris. Oh yeah, I can't think of his name. I'm sorry.
Christopher Lee.
Yeah, Christopher Lee. It's like
I'm
over here trying to make sure everything's working, and I want to get the big like Hammer box set of like all the Hammer films.
Yeah, I've seen some, but some of the one I did see had like a bunch of them I never even heard of. So I was like, I don't know about that one. But I've got all the main ones. Like I got all the Dracula ones that I know of. I've got like one or two of the Frankenstein ones. I don't think I bothered with the Mummy because I've never been a huge fan of the Mummy. But I'm trying to think of the other ones they did. I might have one or two of the other ones, but I can't remember which ones they were. But yeah, I'll have to dig through them and see what I got. And maybe for Halloween, leading up to the release of the Universal horrors, maybe I'll, like I said, I'll stack all my Dracula movies up and say, look at all these movies. This isn't even all of them. So I even got like the Jack Palance Dracula. I got the one that Dario Argento did a couple years back. I haven't even watched it yet, but it's in 3D.
Oh yeah,
Dario Argento's Dracula.
That one.
Yeah,
I should try and watch that by next time, maybe, or something.
Yeah. And then you need to get Dracula Dead and Loving It, and then you'll be.
See there. Maybe that's what when does that come out?
I think it comes out in October.
Oh, really?
Or October, November 1.
Okay, well, if it does, maybe I'll time it with all that shit. We'll see.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I think it comes out in November. I think, yeah.
Lame. What's with all these good movies for Halloween coming out in November?
I know that's it.
Only got bumped to November.
It's crazy.
Well, and we couldn't get Ghostbusters Afterlife for a Halloween release. I mean, come on.
I mean, I understand what they're doing though. They're trying to maximize it by pushing it to Thanksgiving. So
yeah, so more money, box office.
They're pushing it a week away from the Eternals, and it's going to open up then Thanksgiving weekend, so it gets a whole 5-day weekend to play.
Smart, but still not October.
Well, really, it's a summer movie. Come on.
Yeah, well, that's true too.
When I think of Ghostbusters, I think of summer.
Yeah, it would be better off in the summer, and then you can enjoy it when it released in October on physical media.
Even though the video of the original one came out in the winter, I still think of the summer because all that summer of '84, that's all Ghostbusters everywhere, every 5 minutes on the fucking radio. It was everywhere. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
I get you, man. But yeah, I like One Crazy Summer. I think that is good. I'm gonna have to get that from the Warner Archive because, like you said, Warner does really great stuff.
Shitty part is the price. That's my only complaint. Is they could bring that price point down just a smidge.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Why are these $17, $20 discs with nothing on them?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Like, I mean, without bonus material, it just put it down to like $10 at least.
Even I honestly, a price point of $14.99 with when you catch a sale, it'll bring it down to like $10. That's to me more affordable and brings it more in line with the other kind of collections that are coming out with, like from Mill Creek and what's the one that you brought one from who did the Wraith?
I did it. Vestron.
Vestron, that's what. Yeah, it's the company I was trying to think of. Vestron, they're doing their bit, and there's a couple of these other little companies that are doing the boutique companies that are starting to come in back again and release all these B movies and stuff. It's like, why can't you put it at that level, Warner? It's not like you're out that much money. I mean, come on, these are cheap to produce. Exactly.
I just bought a new Vestron today. I was going to bring it on, but I haven't watched it, so I'll bring it on next week after I watch it.
Which one did you get?
Sundown. Sundown, the vampire.
I'm curious about that one, if it's any good. So let me know.
Me too. I've never seen it, and I was going to bring it on tonight, but I was like, no, I need to watch this. I need to watch this first. So.
I want to hear if it's any good because I kind of thought about it, but I'm like, I'll wait.
I bought it today. I bought it for like $12. So.
All right. Well, moving on to your first.
Yes, pick, up to me. All right, my first pick of the night. I actually really, really like this movie. Fade to Black.
I've heard of it, but I've never actually seen it.
This is a really good movie. This is from Vinegar Syndrome. Okay. It's got a really great transfer. I'm trying to see if it's the 2K or the 4K. Actually, I just think it's a good print of it.
I think they
But
did
yeah,
a 2K scan, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, it might be a 2K scan. I think it is. But this is a really good movie, and I don't typically like to compare movies because each movie can be different. But for people out there who maybe are interested, think the Joker, the new Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
I'm trying to think. There's some famous scary movie where the guy has a fade to black T-shirt in it. What is it?
Oh yeah, what is that movie?
I'm trying to think. It's an older horror film too, and I can't think of what the hell it is. I just
do you remember what was in it? I'd probably know.
No, I don't. I just watched it a few weeks ago too, though, and I'm like, because that made me think about the movie again. I'm like, oh yeah, that came out on, and I remember it being an old horror movie that was always kind of tough to come by.
Yeah, because if you know like a little bit of the plot synopsis or who was in the movie, I'd probably.
I'm drawing a blank right now. Like I can't even. I can picture the guy in the shirt, and I don't think it's Tammy and the T-Rex. It was before that. So, but it was like one of those movies I watched, and I'm just like, maybe it was. I'll think about it. I'll remember. I think it was another one of those movies I got from Vinegar Syndrome, though. So, but yeah, what's the plot of this? I've never. I mean, I've heard of it, but I've never really heard much about it.
I don't want to spoil too much of it, but I will tell you the basic plot. This dude, he lives in LA and he works at a 35 millimeter print depot, and he's like obsessed with old Hollywood, movies like the black and white horror movies, Universal and stuff. And he's basically bullied. And he meets this actress who looks like Marilyn Monroe. She's like an aspiring actress, and he falls for her, but he's like slowly going insane throughout the movie.
So it's kind of like Taxi Driver almost.
Yeah, it's kind of like Taxi Driver meets Joker. It's very much in that vein. And it's like, it goes through Hollywood, like the nitty gritty part of Hollywood in the 80s. Mickey Rourke's in it. He makes an appearance as one of his first movies. He's not a huge part of it. And he like dresses up. It's kind of like a slasher too. So like he dresses up like, like Dracula. He paints himself up like Dracula and stuff. And like he kills somebody in the style of like Dracula. And then he dresses up like these movie monsters. Like he even dresses up like the Mummy at one point. Because Tom, I know you said you didn't like the Mummy, but he dresses up like the Mummy and like an old cowboy. And like it's just really good. I don't want to explain too much of it because
I think
really
my buddy told me about this movie once. Now that I think about it,
yeah, I know my dad loves the movie, so and I know he's highly recommended it to me. I just know that Dennis Christopher is in the movie.
Yes, Dennis Christopher is a star, and he's really good at it. It's just like, I don't know, it's really good. It's very much in the vein like Taxi Driver and Joker and all that, but it's like, if you're like a film nerd, because like he's a huge film nerd in it, like a film geek, he collects like reels of like old movies and VHS tapes and all this, and he's just like so obsessed with it, and it's just really good. I really enjoyed it. I actually liked it, and it was a surprise because I had just recently seen this. This was like a first watch for me.
So I can't find it on Vinegar Syndrome. For some reason.
And I bought that one. I didn't win that one. I bought that one.
I can't find it.
Yeah, really? I saw that on Vinegar Syndrome's website. I was like,
I wonder if it's sold out.
It might be because I know it just came out, I believe, in May.
Damn, man, that's sold out quick if that's the case.
And it was like the first time ever on Blu-ray.
That's probably one of the reasons why.
Yeah, it was like its very first time ever on Blu-ray. I don't even think it even had a DVD release ever.
Probably not.
Yeah, but it's really. I mean, if you get a chance to see it, I'd watch it.
I'll look on Amazon.
If you're a big horror movie nerd or movie nerd in general, cinema lover, I would watch it. It's really good.
I'm definitely gonna add that.
I'm trying to remember that. Yeah, I'm not even.
It's gonna drive you nuts.
Here it is. This is a different.
I hate it when that happens.
But I'm assuming it's the same one.
Oh yeah, I switched the cover.
Oh, okay.
So if you.
Oh yeah, this is from a 4K transfer actually.
Yeah, I hit the wrong button.
That's why it looks so good.
If you can see, I switched the cover.
Ooh, the disc is nice.
Oh yeah, it's still in stock. I'm buying now. $25.
It's really good. I would say, if you're a horror fan and if you're a cinema fan,
it's gonna drive me nuts though till I figure out what movie that was and that kid had.
Where's this?
It was another horror. Was it maybe The Being or something like that? I can't remember now.
I don't know. I was thinking,
or the
976 Evil, maybe.
No, I haven't watched that recently. It was either The Being or I also watched. God, God, I'm trying to think of the name of it, but I got it because it looked like Gremlins, kind of at the. I can't think of the name of it, like the Spookies or something like that.
Oh, the Ghoulies?
Well,
No, not Ghoulies. The
Munchies?
Spookies. No,
Oh,
no,
Spookies.
it's something completely different.
Hobgoblins?
Nope. Although Hobgoblins may have been the movie, but that was wild. No, it's called Spookies. That might be the movie.
Spookies.
Oh,
Yeah.
Spookies.
I've seen the trailer to that.
That might have been it.
It might have been. Cancelled Jeremy.
I know I watched that not too long ago.
Says it was on DVD. So it was on DVD once before.
Oh, cool.
Okay. I wasn't really sure, but I know it had never had a Blu-ray release.
Oh, Anchor Bay, the king of DVD distributors.
They used to be, yeah.
Yeah, they used to be.
Until Stars bought them.
Oh. I was like wondering whatever happened to Anchor
And then they
Bay.
basically got sucked up with Universal, so.
Yay.
Which was funny because one of their biggest releases was always Army of Darkness, which was a Universal.
But yeah, like I did a review. Once again, everybody in chat, everybody who's watching or will watch, I did a review on this on my channel, so you can check that out. But yeah, I highly recommend it. It's a really it surprised me how good it actually was.
There you go. Yeah, Glinzer says Fade to Black is the horror equivalent of cinema parody. So yeah, I've heard about it. I think I've even heard like Quentin Tarantino mention it a couple times. So yeah, I just bought it. So every week I'm on this show. Greg costs me fucking money.
Now, see, you would cost me money too.
This is the most expensive fucking show I'm on.
Yeah, it's funny. It kind of reminds me. D-Bud Martin keeps mentioning to me the Friday the 13th box set he's got, and I looked it up on Amazon, and I saw this really gorgeous box set. I was just like, oh my god, I'm so tempted to buy it, but it's like $100.
I was gonna say, if you see it come down to a decent price, I'd take advantage before it goes out of print, because those Halloween box sets go for like $300.
Oh, really? Okay.
Didn't you show yours, Greg, like a while back?
Yes, I showed my...
I thought about showing mine tonight, because I was like, we're getting the new ones here soon, so I figured I'd dig and dust this one off, but I'm like, nah, you already showed it, so...
No, I showed the Friday the 13th, not the Halloween.
Oh, was it? Okay, so who showed the Halloween? Or
nobody. I showed my Halloween steelbook, a Halloween 2 steelbook.
Oh, that's right.
I missed out on the Halloween set, so I really want to get these 4Ks.
I got those ordered. I got the big one ordered.
That's what I really want to get. The $300 records, all that. I want to get that, but I just where you can buy it at the moment, I can't.
Oh, I barely could afford it. That's part of the reason I was so broke last month. I didn't want to say that.
Well, I would be too, because I would have bought it up in a heartbeat like that.
It was
but I'm gonna have to hold off a minute.
And I'm glad I did, because I guess they already ran out of the ones with the pins or something like that. So
that sucks.
Yeah. Well, when does it come out again? Let's see here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
So it's going to be an actual box set? Because I thought they were like...
I don't know if it's going to be an actual box set. That's a good question, actually.
Yeah, because I thought I saw separate DVDs of because I saw like the Halloween 3 cover.
It doesn't come out until October 5th. Yeah, you can get them separately. I ordered the big $245 box set or whatever. We just call it the box set just because it all comes together. But I don't know if that's a good question. I don't think there is going to be an actual box, which is sad that they all come in like a set. But I could just toss the other ones out my old set. So many. I've got so many copies of Halloween.
Me
and I can get rid of my other copy because they even have the transfer of that version in there too. They've got both versions. They've got the old Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray, and the new scan they did.
And it's so funny because I just bought Halloween 3 on Blu-ray not too long ago, and now now Shout Factory's releasing a 4K version. Like, crap. Like, seriously?
I know. It's Shout Factory. I love them so much, but then they always do that shit to me too.
Well, the upside is if you didn't get the Halloween box set before now, all you got to do, because I think Lionsgate released the producer's cut separately. I don't know if you can still get it, but just get your hands on that, and whichever versions of the Rob Zombie ones, or not, if you don't want to.
Yeah, I'm good with Rob. I don't need
the only tough one then would be get your hands on a decent version of H2O, which, I mean, there's plenty of Mill Creek video versions of it out there, but I don't think they ever released it separately.
Heard that we possibly may be getting 4Ks of the other ones through Shout Factory eventually.
I heard some rumor that because they can't get their hands on certain ones now like they used to. Like this year they're doing these 5, and then next year they're doing a few more, and my guess would probably be H2O, Resurrection. I don't think they're going to be able to get their hands on 6 again, or the Rob Zombie movies is what I'm trying to say, and the new ones.
Yeah, I get
but
you,
I
man.
think I think next year they'll probably do like H2O Resurrection. What else could they? That'd be about it, maybe. But I don't know if they'll be able to get the rest of them. Maybe they'll get their hands again on Halloween 6, but I don't know. See, that's the thing is Paramount went and bought all those things, so I think it's under Paramount now. That's the other
Paramount
problem is these
Plus.
are spread out all over the fucking place now.
Yeah, I don't like the cover art either.
Yeah,
that was my biggest gripe. I fucking hate. I hope there's reversible cover art, but I'm pissed
me too
about the slip covers. I'm like, I don't want that art on the slip cover.
I know it's so bad when you see the like you were saying, Gary Cassell, he could do it way better than that,
right?
It's so bad.
Gary would have done a badass poster for each one.
Yes, he would have. That would have been great, man. Yes, but if you guys have it though, like we talked about, pick up the Halloween sets before they go out, the 4K versions. You better get them while they're hot. And if you haven't, watch Fade to Black because it is really good. It will surprise you how good it actually is.
I will put that on my list.
And Lindsay, it's your turn.
My turn. All right. Well, might as well share another beloved movie. That being RoboCop.
Oh, is that the Arrow too?
RoboCop, yes.
Nice.
I mean, this movie is it's one of the greatest. And I
definitely.
I love that disc.
Oh, I didn't know they re-released it like that.
Yep. OCP logo and
That's what I was talking about last week.
Yeah, and that's it's got the extra stuff put into it, right? The director's cut.
Yeah, it's got the theatrical and director's cut, which is a matter of seconds, really.
Yeah, it's just a little more bloodier in certain spots.
Oh, you think? Like the Ed 209 stuff? Yeah,
there's the Ed 209 shot, and then, Murphy's death is a little bit different, actually.
Oh, yeah. I think it's a little more violent.
No, it's crazy because I watched the Blu-ray not too long ago, and it's been a while since I've seen the movie, and I'm just like, boy, it's kind of scary how accurate RoboCop is.
Right?
It is.
Oh my god.
Yeah, especially considering the shape of Michigan in some places too. Yeah.
No shit.
For the world in general, really. Oh yeah, I remember bringing that up quite a bit when the whole defund the police shit was going around. It's like, here we go. It's the first step to OCP.
Oh my god, yep. We're gonna have Delta City.
OCP.
I work for Dick Jones.
Jones. OCP runs the cops.
That is such a good movie, and Miguel Fierro in that is really good. I always liked his character. I thought he was.
Oh man, he's
bitches leave.
Yeah, bitches leave. And
Kurtwood Smith is so badass.
I know, man.
Sure.
Like, give me my fucking phone call.
And then, everybody that talks about him said he's like the nicest guy. He wears sandals and Hawaiian shirts, and he's
from a town a half hour away from me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, on that 70s show, he's the only guy who's probably really from Wisconsin. I shit you not. I couldn't believe it because I thought it's actually my son's mother was lying to me. She's like, yeah, I know his cousin. I'm like, whatever. So she shows me this fucking signed picture and shit. He's like, no. And then I look it up. I'm like, holy shit. He's from New Lisbon, Wisconsin.
Wow.
It is the smallest podunk motherfucking town you've ever fucking seen. It's Mayberry. I shit you not. That is the kind of town this is. That's where he comes from. It's that's why he's probably so nice. But I guess that scene where he spits and does, give me my fucking phone call. He improvised the spitting on the paper though. I guess he did that right in the scene.
That's so cool. He was always one of my favorite bad guys of all time, from those movies.
I don't believe it. You burned the fucking money.
You burnt the fucking money.
Can
you fly, Bobby?
Yeah.
He
says all the best lines in the movie.
See, I got this problem, right? Cops don't like me. I sure don't like cops.
Oh man,
he does have all the best lines besides RoboCop in that movie. Yeah.
Anthony Draven says he was good in Fortress with Christopher.
Oh yeah,
Lambert.
I just got that. I haven't watched that yet though.
It's been a while since I've seen that movie. I didn't even know. I didn't even remember he was in that.
Yeah,
I'll have to go back and watch
Factory
that.
did it, or Shout Factory, or whatever, did it a couple of years back. I
Oh,
just
that's
picked
cool.
it up.
I have not seen. I haven't watched Fortress probably since I was like 18, maybe.
I just remembered seeing like previews to it on Cinemax back in the day. I never actually sat down and watched it, but I would just remember, oh yeah, it's that Christopher Lambert movie.
It's not a bad movie from what I remember. So yeah, I'll have to check that out as well.
It looked pretty good. I don't think I've ever seen it, so I just picked up the Blu-ray. I'm like, Christopher Lambert? All right.
Yeah.
I know they made it like I've seen Fortress and Fortress 2, so.
Or for those out there who are going to yell at me, Christopher Lambert.
Christopher Lambert. I always wanted Cube. Have you guys ever seen the movie Cube?
I have not seen that, and I've heard good things about it.
A long time ago, I think.
That first one is so good. I always wanted like a really good Blu-ray of that.
Is it like a giant like trap, kind of like a giant saw trap? Oh man.
Yeah, it was well before Saw though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that movie with J-Lo ripped it off. I think The Cell or whatever. If I remember right.
sort of. Yeah.
Kind of like same time period came out. Yeah.
But that is a good pick, Lindsay. RoboCop is an all-time classic masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
And Kurtwood Smith, Peter Weller, Nancy Allen,
Yep,
Miguel Fierro. If I'm saying his name wrong, I apologize.
Sounds right to me.
Yeah, cool. Good, because I wasn't sure. Tyrell says, Fortress is awesome. It's like No Escape with Ray Liotta.
And I saw No Escape. I liked that movie.
Yeah, I have never seen No Escape, so I have not seen that one.
Yeah, I kind of had a bit of a crush on Ray Liotta, so it's like...
That's understandable. He's a sexy bitch.
Yeah. Nate Knows Reviews comes with another classic line. Look at my face, dick. Yes, that is a good one.
Ray Liotta's always looking at me, Lindsay. I shit you not. No. Yeah, sorry. It's the angle, too. He's like at just the right...
Oh,
what the fuck?
Oh, my God. Oh, no. Stupid.
Like I hit a button and... Oh, there we go. Okay. See, like I got my Goodfellas poster and he's just like just the right angle where he's always fucking looking at me.
Nice. I'd be looking over like, hey, how's it going? Sexy beast.
Ever since I can remember, I wanted to be a gangster.
Always think of the pigeons from Animaniacs. So...
Oh, yeah.
No, but that is a good movie. That is Goodfellas is a good movie.
Yeah, it is.
Cancel Jeremy says Cube and The Cell are nothing alike, Tom.
Where are you at? Okay, well, maybe I'm thinking of a different movie than when I thought of Cube. Maybe I'm thinking of a totally different one.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be here, man. Where are you at?
We'll have to have him back on next week. I didn't know Runner wasn't going to show up, or I would have got to him in time because Runner had to work late. So, right. Yeah, and I'm bad at planning streams.
But yeah, it's a great release, Lindsay. I'm glad you got your hands on it. I'm assuming it will get a 4K release eventually. I've got the digital version in 4K, but that is one of those Blu-rays that looks better on just standard Blu-ray than the stupid 4K version does on digital.
Yeah. And it is a good one. Good one. Tom?
Oh, my
Your second pick of the night.
Okay. This is a strange one here. A couple of years back, I believe it would have been... Let's see, because this came out. This isn't the one I'm showing. Okay, this came out last year. It's not a couple years back, so last year.
Oh, classic.
This one was supposed to come out with another movie that just finally came out this year. This one, Still Smoking.
Still Smoking.
Now, the funny thing is it was supposed to be remastered in 5.1 surround sound, have a bunch of special features like Up in Smoke did, but it just up and disappeared. The pre-orders all canceled, and it just was nowhere to be found. It was supposed to even have a cover similar to the 40th anniversary edition of Up in Smoke I just showed you, and the menus for this reflect that. Like, this is obviously the disc they were going to release last year, but funnily enough, this is like Paramount's Warner archive, because I don't know if you can tell here on the disc. It's just like it's a burnt disc.
Oh.
It's like when they made the order disc?
Yes. Yeah. So I was a little disappointed with the actual release of it. The movie does look good. I'm assuming they remastered this in 4K the same time they did the last... Because Up in Smoke is remastered in 4K. It just doesn't have a 4K release. Typical of Paramount. This does appear like it looks like it's from a 4K master. Doesn't say on the back though. It falsely claims it's in 5.1 surround sound. It's not. It's only in mono. Now, one of the reasons I thought maybe, just maybe, this movie hit a snag is it has a Prince song on it, but the Prince song is still in it, so that couldn't have been what held it up. I don't know what held it up, but it's available now finally. But it was one of those movies like that just disappeared. I don't know what the fuck happened to it, and then just now it finally showed up again.
That's weird. I just like that. That reminds me of the what's it? Is it called Drop Dead Fred with the Imaginary Friend?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was supposed to be coming out by Severin or Synapse, and they canceled that one.
No.
God, I have the import of that.
Oh.
Yeah. I can't remember which one was making it, Synapse or Severin, but they had it was like going to be a big release in September, and they've had to cancel and refund it all because they are not. Something happened. They're not releasing it. So I wonder if maybe that's something like
rights thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if something like that happened with that. Still Smoking.
I was so excited when I saw they were releasing Drop Dead Fred. I'm like, yes, because I have the DVD, but it'd be cool to have the Blu-ray.
Still Smoking. I don't see that happening. I don't know what the problem was, but because Paramount owns it, it's owned free and clear by Paramount. Drop Dead Fred, on the other hand, is under a bunch of different companies, and that's probably why. It was made by New Line, but it was under a family home entertainment release. Because like back in the day, like they did the same thing with Ninja Turtles, but New Line just bought the rights to Ninja Turtles back from Family Home Entertainment. But I don't think they ever did for Drop Dead Fred, so maybe that's the problem.
Cancel Jeremy says someone else is releasing it, so that makes sense. It. Yes, and Cancel Jeremy. Yes, we'll have to. I should have invited you. Sent you the link. We'll have you on next week, man. Sorry about that.
My guess is they made the deal with somebody who they thought had the rights, and then they realized that person didn't have the rights, and the other person who did have the rights went and made a deal underneath their ass. Is probably what happened, it sounds like.
Yeah, probably.
And then when they found out, oh, we don't really have the rights, they had to cancel theirs, yeah.
That would explain it.
And speaking of Cheech and Chong, can we have a Cheech and Chong box set, please? Because I would love to have Up in Smoke, Nice Dreams, next movie, Things Are Tough All Over,
Problem
which
is,
does not get enough love.
There we go again with movies underneath different, because the only Cheech and Chong movies that aren't on Blu-ray now are the Columbia movies, which is Nice Dreams and Things Are Tough All Over. Because we've got next movie from
Universal.
Scream Factory. Yeah. Scream Factory released that one through Universal. Yep, you're right. And then of course now we finally got Still Smoking, so that's the only two left are the Columbia movies. Oh,
because I know Up in Smoke was Paramount.
Yep, Up in Smoke I have. That came out last year. And actually that had a previous Blu-ray release, I think. If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I actually have two copies of Up in Smoke because I have the 40th anniversary soundtrack, which came with a copy of the movie too.
Nice.
That's good. That's a good one.
Oh my God, blast earache my eye. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean the movie itself is pretty good. What I love about Still Smoking is it's basically like their stage show, mixed with some skits. So it's really kind of, it's not a movie per se because they pretty much play themselves in it. So yeah, but it's kind of neat to have like this definitive kind of capture of at that time period what their stage play was like. Because I actually saw them live like 2 years ago, and they're amazing still. They look like awesome. They melted, but they're amazing still. So.
They were always so funny though, man. That was hilarious. I remember watching them all the time as a kid, and when I know I shouldn't have been allowed to. Let's see what's this? Friday the 13th box set should give hope to a Cheech and Chong set. Maybe it depends. Like Columbia, it's all the rights issues.
Sony does not like to lend their shit out to anybody but Mill Creek. It seems like.
And Mill Creek has that fantastic office. It just looks so amazing.
Which, yeah, I know, right? With the awesome signs.
Exactly. I mean, how they afford that, I do not know.
It's fancy. I mean, I can't get that though. I mean, like Sony has released all those movies through Mill Creek, but I'm sure like Scream or Shout would die to get their hands on some of those classics, right?
I know it would be. I don't know why they don't do it. It just boggles the mind.
And Columbia has a bunch of early 80s movies that Mill Creek released that like I said, that would be great for special editions. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
I know. And like the movie with the New Kids, with James Spader. That movie could totally use a Scream Factory.
Yeah. And then
So-
I was just watching the other day from that. I was like, this could use a good release, but I can't remember what it was now. But anyway, moving on. What's your? We just did yours, Greg, or you got one?
No, we just did yours. Now it's my turn.
Yep.
Okay, I got Vamp from the 80s.
Oh,
Vaguely remember
Grace
that
Jones,
one.
Grace
right?
Jones, Chris
Yeah.
Makepeace, Dee Dee Pfeiffer, Robert Ressler, and Getty Watanabe. Have you not seen this, Tom?
I've seen bits and pieces of it. I don't know if I ever actually watched the whole movie though, but Grace Jones, that's like one of the most iconic.
Yes.
versions
I really like this movie. It was pretty good, and it's definitely like they say in here, and when you watch it, it's definitely one of the inspirations for From Dusk Till Dawn. It's Selma Hayek. Like they even say Selma Hayek was more what they were going for than the Grace Jones character in this. So just they had to do what they had to do. But I really like this movie. It was a really good vampire flick, and it was one of those 80s movies that I don't think gets enough attention to it. That I think it's underrated, underappreciated.
Yeah, I've heard of the movie. Like I've seen Grace Jones, like her appearance in the movie, which I think she looks so badass, But of course, it's Grace Jones. Grace Jones is total badass.
She is. I always liked her. Her character in that's actually pretty good. And like they said, they put this like red wig on her and this makeup on her, and it could have looked like a Ronald McDonald, but she came out and she
rocked it. I think
she rocked it. So yeah, so she really got him. So I really liked it. It was a really good movie. I thought it was pretty good. But I do have a super chat. All right, it's from Mega Jetty 1, MJ1 Media, $2. Congrats, FanZcene vids. Shoot the like. Yes, shoot the like. Share the stream, and I hope you guys are enjoying. I don't play too many clips on here, but I'll give you a little clip. Let's see, what clip can I use here? I'll just use my one I typically like to use. So enjoy.
Yeah. Return of Swamp Thing. Oh my god.
I love that movie.
I love that movie as a kid. I don't care. It was cheesy, but oh well.
It is. The first one's better, but the second one is just cheesy goodness.
It is. Totally.
Yes. And Glizner says, Vamp and Innocent Blood deserve more love for sure. They do. If you've not seen Vamp, I would recommend it. It's The Lost Boys, Near Dark, and what else? The other ones are better vampire films. But this one, it holds its own as a vampire flick. It's not too bad.
I got a Warner Archive set that has like a couple of vampire movies. I'm trying to remember, is this in that? Or is this not a Warner title?
And what is it?
Vamp. Because I see it's released by Arrow. So
this is Arrow. It's from New World Pictures was the original
yeah. All right.
release.
I'm trying to remember what other movies are in there, but a couple you just mentioned are in there. But like, yeah, I've got this 4-pack of the Warner Archive where it's all vampire movies and
Fright Night.
No, that's Sony.
My Best Friend's a Vampire.
No, I wish
we'd get it. I want that one.
That's
I really
a classic.
do. That is one that is in desperate need of a Blu-ray.
Once Bitten.
Once Bitten. Tim Carrey.
I got Once Bitten.
Do you? Is it on Blu-ray?
Yeah, Scream did it with the Love at First Bite.
Oh, there you go.
It's like a 2-pack or whatever.
Which is the one with Nick Cage? Was it Vampire's Kiss?
That's Vampire's Kiss.
Okay.
Yes. Cancel Jeremy said The Hunger, probably.
Oh, I love The Hunger.
Yeah, it's got The Hunger and a couple other movies in it, and I can't remember what. Maybe it's just horror movies in general, but it was a Warner Archive, and it's got 4 movies in it. Yeah.
Glizner says The Hunger and Wolfen are in that pack, I believe.
Maybe. I don't remember Wolfen being in there, but
we'll have to look to figure that out. If you get in the chat, figure it out. Anybody watching, figure it out. Let us know.
I could always run down and grab it too, but I'm bored.
But seriously though, if you've not seen Vamp, I would.
I see they released The Hunger separately as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here it is. It's got Body Snatchers.
Oh, there you go.
Well, yeah, it does have Wolfen in it, I guess. Hunger and Innocent Blood. That's the other one. Yeah, Innocent Blood. Yeah.
Cool.
I didn't realize it had Body Snatchers in it. Cool.
That was a decent remake as well.
I don't usually
the
pay
90s.
a lot of attention. I get so much shit in the mail. Sometimes I just like,
Tom gets all the good stuff, and he never has time to watch it though.
I bought a new fucking. Well, that's my other problem is all my movies have been in boxes and shit. I bought a new stand, and then I realized, shit, I still don't have enough room. I gotta buy more fucking shelves.
Same here. I got boxes over here that I still need to get rid of with VHSs that I don't plan on keeping.
Man, I still have some of my old VHS tapes. I still have my VHS copy of Pete's Dragon still in the clamshell.
That's cool.
It's like one of my all-time favorite Disney movies.
I've been collecting VHSs again.
Oh, Elliot.
I love Elliot.
Oh, Nate, I know which one. I think we're probably all going to be in agreement here. It says, here's a question for the panel. What is the best werewolf movie in your opinion? My favorite is Dog Soldiers. Dog Soldiers is really, really good, but my top is American Werewolf in London, and probably after that is the original Wolfman from Universal Studios. So
I got to go with Greg.
Oh my God. I mean, I love American Werewolf in London, but I also love The Howling. And I love
good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God. And then The Wolfman. The Wolfman is a classic. I mean, that's pretty much what the movie kind of started.
You know, I saw that in Jack Nicholson one when it first came out, and I didn't like it. I have not seen it since, but I recently saw a review like a couple months back of it. And I'm like, I think I got to give this movie a second chance. Because not only was that review like kind of opened my eyes a little bit to what the movie was more about, I also guess there was another version of the movie we never got to see because the director kind of had the movie trashed on him and recut and all that shit. So, yeah.
Yeah, Wolf. Yeah. I would like to see that.
Actually, there are, because I've loved horror movies all my life, right? And there's only been a couple movies that scared the crap out of me, and American Werewolf in London was one of them. It took me years to finally sit down and watch that movie all the way through because it scared the crap out of me as a kid. That werewolf transformation scene just scarred me at like 3-4 years old. So it's just like, yeah, I'm not going to watch this movie.
Funnily enough, that's one of the few horror movies my dad actually likes. Like he hates horror movies.
Really?
But that's one of the rare ones he actually kind of likes. So, yeah.
American Werewolf in London, man, is just always, I don't know, man. There's something about that movie I've always loved. I love The Howling too. Moon. Yeah, Blue Moon. I just put that out there today. Yeah. But there's just something about that movie I just always loved. The transformation scene was amazing. The Howling is good too. And if I had to pick my top 3 werewolf movies, it would be American Werewolf in London, the original Wolfman with Lon Chaney Jr., and The Howling. That's probably my top 3 favorite. That's just me though.
Yeah, it's so hard because I mean Rick Baker's work on American Werewolf in London is just superb.
It was amazing.
And plus there were some great lines in it. I will not be threatened by a walking meatloaf.
I didn't mean to call you Meatloaf, Jack.
Stay on the mire.
So good.
Beware the
so
moon.
Good.
Stick to the roads.
Or stick to the road, yeah.
Yeah, stick to the road.
Stay off the mire. Yeah. Rookie Critic, he's remonetized. Congratulations.
Yes, $5 super chat from the Rookie Critic. Happy remonetization. And since Rookie is a huge fan of this, I played this on here before, but I always like to give this for him.
You will have long blonde hair, big green eyes, world-class breasts, ass that won't quit, and legs that go all the way up.
I just love the Tremors movies. They're amazing. Well, the first one, anyways. You guys hear me okay? Everything good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, I'm embarrassed for you.
You should be. Oh, look at this. Midnight's Edge After Dark for $20. This guy, he pops up every once in a while. I've always heard good things about him. I appreciate it. Buy a Blu-ray. You know what? I just may. And man, thank you, Tom. Seriously, I appreciate that, man. I really do. And
I'm just glad you were able to get your monetization back because I thought.
Yeah, I know it was a weird situation, and sometimes stuff like that usually doesn't work out. I've seen it with people I know, and it sucks. But I was glad to have it back, and I give you this time.
Turtles do have unusually large dongs, by the way.
I love it.
Yes. Turtle pickles? I didn't know they made pickles out of turtles.
I don't care for that design, but it still looks better than what they did in that damn movie.
Yeah, like we've talked about, you can see they can make the suit. And Rookie, thank you once again for another $2 super chat. I maybe have 12 Blu-ray movies. We should get Rookie on here one week and have him share what little he's got.
Oh, he's like Runner 1.0. Like that's how Runner's worse though. At least Jeff is receptive, right?
Yes.
Like Runner's like, fuck you, I don't care.
I'm trying.
It's like my kid. I just want to reach through the computer and smack him across the head. It's like
that's why because he sees.
You should care, you little shit.
He's a good kid. Nate says, "What the hell? It's the Ninja Turtles. You've never heard of the Pickle Dicks?"
I will never think of pickles the same way I've heard it. No. And I love pickles too.
Are they sweet or dill?
Dill pickles. Like, ew, sweet or gross.
I know.
They're gherkins.
I hate butter or sweet. Ugh.
Oh, God, they're so gross. Like little gherkins. Ugh, they're too sweet.
I don't like sweet pickles. Not a fan of sweet pickles.
Nope.
Okay, so what do you got for us, Lindsay?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's your turn. Next. All right.
But thank you. Seriously. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Rookie.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Okay. So,
I just like being here, man. Like I said, this is the most expensive show I'm on. Ooh, they're speaking of
I love the Nightbreed. Yes.
I love this movie. Oop.
Oh,
my disc popped out. I like the disc too. That's a nice disc.
Yeah. Hey, so look, Tom, we're not the only ones. She did it too.
Oh my God! And I just
the best
realized.
of us.
Oh, there's 2 discs. I just realized.
Yeah, it's got the director's cut and the theatrical, if I remember right.
Oh man, that is cool.
That's pretty cool. That's a good one. That's a good one. I actually had a chance to almost buy. I found Cabal, the hardback novel, and I was going to buy it, but I ended up putting it back, and I regret it because I wish I would have bought it now.
I really need to quit shopping while I'm on this show. Anyway, they got a Matrix soundtrack coming out on SACD, but it's like, I don't have an SACD player.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I love Hellraiser, but I think Nightbreed has to be my favorite out of Clive Barker's. Really? I don't know, because I do love Hellraiser, but Nightbreed I think was it was the first Clive Barker movie I've seen between the two. So
growing up, you could tell the difference in the girls if they liked Lost Boys or Nightbreed better. I shit you not. The ones that were all into Lost Boys were all like the preppy girls, and then the ones that were in the Nightbreed were all the emo goth girls.
That's totally me in high school. I was the goth chick.
And there's nothing wrong with that, though.
No, it's Nightbreed. It's like the X-Men of horror movies.
Yes. What do you think about the possible TV show coming?
Ooh, I mean, I don't object to the because the movie, is it supposed to be an addition to the movie or a prequel, sequel?
I'm not really sure. I think it might be retelling it. It could be retelling the movie, or it could be picking up where the movie ended. I'm not really sure.
I believe it's supposed to be a reboot.
Reboot, yeah. I know Clive Barker is somewhat involved, but I don't know how involved.
Well, I mean, if he's involved, yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on how much of a hand he has in it.
So yeah, I'm not really sure how involved he is with it, but I know he's involved. What about the original Candyman? I like the original Candyman. I really don't have an interest in the new one, but I like the original. I like the 3 original Candyman. The original is the best. I
did have interest in it until I heard it was Woke City.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. I'm not a huge fan of Jordan Peele. I'm
I haven't really liked many of his films. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Same here.
I really liked Get Out, and I saw Us in the theater, and I thought the first 2 acts were good, but that ending just
See, that's the problem I had with Get Out. Like the first 2 acts were great, phenomenal.
Yeah.
But once you get to that 3rd act where it goes to the bigger ask, it's like, oh no, you've lost me now. Like it just that one scene where it just goes way, way past where it was before. It's like, okay, I could buy the one thing, but this is getting like way too weird. Like even weird for like fucking like Twilight Zone type shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that's how I felt about Us, because I mean, like the first, it's a super interesting concept, you know, because I love the concept of doppelgangers and stuff like that. But then that plot twist at the end, I was just like, really? Like that makes no sense to me.
Maybe that's the part too, Glinzer. I can't remember, but maybe that's when it kind of started to fall apart. Yeah, like when his friends show up, and then it's when they go past the first bit where it's like then when you finally find out what the hell they're up to, it's like, oh come on, like you know.
Exactly. I'm just not a fan of his brand of horror. It just it
is a bit off. I mean, it's sad because like Lindsey said, he's great with. It's kind of like he's the next M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong.
Yeah.
Great with concepts, great setup. You get all the way there, but yet ruins the orgasm every time. But you keep coming back because that first one was so good. You know,
he's
Unbreakable was a pretty good one too. So like, you're like, all right, you know, they can't be just a one-trick pony, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
I don't know, man. It's like his Twilight Zone series was awful, and just I'm just not a fan.
I have to sit there and ask myself, did I even enjoy Split all that much? Really, more so because of the connection to Unbreakable, or because it was actually a decent film? Like that's what I got to keep asking myself throughout. Because like I didn't really care for the movie all that much when I think about it. It's just the fact that it's what I've been waiting for, and then of course Glass was just a big disappointment.
Shit. It was bad.
It's like I've waited all these years for this, and this is what we get.
Yeah. But Lindsey, that was a good one. Nightbreed. I've been meaning to pick that one up myself.
Nightbreed, yes.
And like
I was gonna say, what do you like? But what's your review of Nightbreed, real quick, Lindsey?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is the first time I've ever seen the director's cut, because I've seen the theatrical cut several times, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, the transfer looked great. You know, it sounded great. I didn't really watch much of the bonus features, but I highly recommend it for sure. If you are at all familiar with Clive Barker, and you know, if anyone in the chat has heard of Clive Barker and is looking for, I highly recommend watching the movie, especially if you're like an X-Men fan. Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
We can. Yeah, you're just a little choppy there.
Okay, crap.
At least on my end. I didn't know if it was everybody else. That's why I didn't say nothing. So
yeah. So yeah, I highly recommend it. For sure.
You know, Cancel Jeremy, you're the first person I've ever heard say that, because this is one of those rare films where, you know, where I've been, well, in my opinion anywhere, I say the director's cut or extended cuts generally don't make a film that much better, but a lot of people prefer the director's cut of this version.
Yeah,
or a version of this movie.
I think I preferred the director's cut. Yeah. The only thing I didn't like about it was they killed off that one character who lived in the theatrical cut, but the guy with the blades, and I can't remember his name. Shoot, he's the guy that helped Boone out.
Watch, he's got a stupid name like Blade.
It's been a while since I've seen it, so I don't remember the name either.
I can't remember either. Yeah, like I remember seeing it on cable. Honestly, you know what, Lindsey? I don't think I've ever watched the director's cut. I barely even remember the original version. So I remember seeing it as a kid once or twice on like Showtime or some shit like that when I was younger.
Yeah,
I didn't know. Like Clive Barker said, he had wanted this to be his Star Wars, his version of monsters. But
I remember he stepped away from Hellraiser for this movie, from my recollection. That's why he doesn't have shit to do with the third Hellraiser, if I remember right.
Yeah.
That sounds about right, because Hellraiser Hell on Earth was around the same time as Nightbreed. So.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like he wanted this to be his huge, big Star Wars type movie, and it was supposed to be a thing, and like they kept cutting it up until he finally found all of it, and that's, you know, so many people prefer that director's cut now.
Yeah, Nate, it was based on Cabal.
Yeah.
That's the name of the novel.
Yep. Nate just had to bring zombies up, didn't he?
Where's
Oh.
Runner
One
at?
fucking week
Runner.
without zombies.
Where's Runner?
That is my subgenre. I just can't pick just one. I'm sorry.
I'm a Romero man.
Me too.
I love Romero, but Return of the Living Dead. That's one of my all-time favorite movies. I'm like, oh, like trying to
See,
say,
I almost count that as a Romero movie because it's basically a parody of them.
Well, since
they're
Runner
like
in
the
here
same
tonight.
zombies.
Since
Well, I
Runner
mean,
here.
well,
Go ahead.
they are kind of different because in Return of the Living Dead they run and they eat brains, while Romero's is just they're shambling and they just eat
Do they
everything.
run and return?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do. But like I said, since Runner in here tonight, I'll do it for him. Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead is a fucking masterpiece.
Technically Return could be considered an unofficial sequel.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like it always to me, I always thought it was until I was old enough to know the difference. Well, I always thought it was the same kind of,
Yeah, because because you have the very beginning of the movie where Frank is telling Freddy, about Night of the Living Dead. It's
how it's a true story based on
yeah.
But that's because what's his name? I can't ever think of his name. He something with rights with him and George Romero, where like Romero could not use what was it he couldn't use? Like the living part of the dead of it. So like the other guy could, and so that's why like it's Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead, and not like living it added into it.
Are you saying that the guy who made Return of the Living Dead actually copyrighted the Living Dead part of it? Is that what you mean?
Really?
Yeah, it's like the Living Dead part of it or whatever. It was like the guy that
else did prior to that or whatever.
Yeah,
he worked on Night of the Living Dead with George Romero. That came as like the guy. I can't remember his freaking name. John Russo. Yes, John Russo and George Romero worked together to make Night of the Living Dead, and they had like a falling out or something, and they fought over the rights to the movie, and somehow it ended up with that's why it could also be seen as sort of a sequel to Night of the Living Dead. Is like they both kind of got like split rights to certain parts of the franchise.
That makes sense now that you say that. I didn't really know that per se, but it makes sense because I know the first movies actually was in public domain because of the whole copyright snafu. But anyway, you were saying Lindsey, sorry.
Oh yeah, I was saying when you said like, wait, Dan O'Bannon got the rights to the term "living" for Return of the Living Dead. But
interesting. You bring up Tobe Hooper.
It's amazing. But what was everybody's favorite zombies?
Romero.
I'm gonna have to go with the OG Romero. Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead is one of my all-time favorite movies.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
We got this, man. We got this by the ass.
What? Something my grandfather used to say.
That's so good. I love that. That's probably one of that one and Night of the Living Dead are probably my top two favorite there. Oh, well, Return of the Living Dead, though. I really, really like that movie.
Exactly.
I'm actually more partial to Dawn of the Dead, or Day of the Dead, I mean. Day of the Dead is one of my more favorites.
Oh, man, Captain Rhodes is such a great bad.
I want to know what the fuck you're doing with my time!
Dude, I showed that to my nephew.
I want to know what you're doing to get us out of this deep shit we're in. Or are you all back there just jerking each other off?
I showed that movie to my nephew, and he felt so bad for Bub.
We all do. We all love Bub.
I know. And when he shoots the gun and he looks at it and he's like, he finally got it to work and he shot the doctor. And he's like, my nephew was like, oh.
When he shot Captain Rhodes and gave him the salute, I'm like, yeah, that's my boy.
Say hello.
It's so good, though. It was good.
Oh, man. And then just seeing him get ripped apart, like, choke on him. I'm like, God, it was like fucking perfect.
Oh, I love Day of the Dead. It's just I don't know what it is about. Because I mean, I love Dawn of the Dead just like everybody else does.
I do too, but Day of the Dead does not get enough love.
No, it doesn't.
It really doesn't.
It's a badass movie. It's
balls
to the wall, and it takes everything he did with the first two movies, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna crank this shit up to 11. It's like the first movie, it's all concentrated. But at the same time, you've got like the same kind of character camaraderie in the second film, and that kind of ramp up story like that. And Bub's a perfect addition along with Frankenstein and roads and all that shit. It's just a great fucking flick.
I do have the Shout Factory of that one, but I have not yet watched it.
I've got a couple of those. I got the Shout Factory. I've got the old, speaking of Anchor Bay, I think I got the old Anchor Bay one of that, and which is actually a little bit better looking and sounding as far as I'm concerned, but I don't know. That's probably debatable. And I think I even have an import of that too.
There's so many great versions. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I was gonna say I have the Day of the Dead DVD autographed by Tom Savini and the actor that played Bub. Yeah, because I went to it's like a Walking Dead convention, and they had
that old
Tom
Day of
Savini
the the Davamax one, because that was a great release from. I still have it. I mean, I don't need it, but it's like it's a great release because it looks cool and had a lot of good special features done. I still got my old 5-disc Dawn of the Dead DVD. I don't really need, but I just keep it for sentimental. There might be a few things down there. I can't remember.
Well, I saw the that box set that you got. I don't know if it's like
that's the 4K new one. Yeah, that's the newer one that just came out.
Yeah, no, I really want that one.
Like I'm just dying for a re-release of Dawn of the Dead on 4K.
I'm surprised that they didn't at least release like the main version of the film, at least like a single disc or a 2-disc with like the theatrical and director's cut or something. That I'm surprised because I mean, really, all it is like a bunch of the soundtrack is like 4 of the discs.
That soundtrack is a masterpiece.
Which I already have, which sucks. But I mean, I guess it came with a version that has a few songs I didn't have, so I didn't complain too much. But otherwise, it's just the Argento cut, the international cut,
and
the extended cut, and the theatrical cut. Yeah.
And out of all the cuts, I think I prefer the theatrical cut. I
am kind of partial to the theatrical myself. Yeah.
And you know why? It's because of the music. Because Goblin's score is just perfection. Like, to me, the movie just does not feel right without.
It's a little tighter too. Yeah. I mean, a lot of the stuff that's in the director's cut. Again, there's a prime example of where it's just unnecessary. You didn't really need a lot of that stuff. I can't think of anything personally offhand that's in the director's cut that I miss in the theatrical. Really.
Yeah, I mean, so the theatrical cut was just fine.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have them all. But now that we went on a zombie rant,
it's like, which is like my favorite subgenre.
Do we have anything else to talk about with Near Dark?
It was Nightbreed.
Or Nightbreed. Sorry.
We can go ahead.
Not really. I haven't really watched the bonus segments or so. I mean, I recommend it if you're curious to check out, Clive Barker other than Hellraiser. I'd say give it a watch.
Yeah. It's not too bad.
All right. Well, my next one.
Or is it you? Yes, it's Tom.
It's my turn now.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. Since Toby Hooper was brought up, and we've talked about this last week, here is my imported steelbook of 4K of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Nice.
Obi off it there. So
yours looks better than mine.
Yeah, but really, go ahead.
Oh, that looks like a cover that Criterion would come up with.
Something like that almost.
Kind of artsy,
yeah. It's really the same thing as this, and this is the one that came in the Pork Chop Express or whatever. Not the Pork Chop Express, I can't think of the name of the semi in it, but yeah, it come in the semi or whatever. This is the version that most people probably have in the US, which basically this is from the same master. My suggestion is don't import it. It's not really worth it. The Blu-ray looks good enough because this does not have HDR on it. MPI put it out overseas. I mean, it's not horrible, but I mean, if you already have that US version, actually, there's a whole nother Blu-ray in here too, just the straight Blu-ray of the film as well. But I mean, if you have that one I just brought up, which you probably have it with a different cover, maybe unless you bought it in the semi truck and all that shit. But it's the same one that's been out there for a while that you can even find at Walmart now, I think, in the single disc edition. But yeah, I mean, it's worth it. It's decent, especially considering it comes from a 16 millimeter print. It's from the original negative, I believe. But yeah, if you can find the Blu-ray that's out there, it's the same one. So it's definitely worth it. Decent looking movie for considering the age and all it's been through and shit. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But I knew you were going to be here, Lindsay, so I'm like, I have to get at least one horror movie out. Since we talked about the 4K Texas Chainsaw, I figured, I'll bring it up.
I mean, Texas Chainsaw is a classic. I remember when I first saw that movie as a teenager, that ending with the whole dining room scene, I was like, oh my God.
Well, Billy Bathgate got booted for it, just for you, so.
Yeah, remains one of the most disturbing films. I agree with that, Tyrell. God, just that whole part where they were trying to hit her over the head with the sledgehammer, like, get her, Grandpa. Like,
get her, Grandpa. Get her, Daddy.
It's a good one.
No, the scariest part of that movie is how long they put up with that kid in the wheelchair. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I know. What was his name? Frank?
I think it was Frank or something like that. I'm so hot. I gotta pee.
I couldn't, like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, when Leatherface just came in, it just completely split him in half with the chainsaw. Like,
what's funny is he's like one of the only ones in the movie that you're like, yes, when they finally get him, and you're like, should I be saying that since it's the one guy in a wheelchair? I don't know. Franklin.
Oh, Glinzer, that freaking hook scene. Ooh, like.
It's a classic, though.
Man. Great movie.
So there's
Rob Zombie never made a version of Texas Chainsaw, but I always argued that he should have made that remake.
It would have been much better than Halloween.
Clearly, that's what he's wanted to make all these years and never got to. I mean, let's be real. Like that's right up his fucking alley. It's like, how did nobody ever think of that? Like, I don't know.
Exactly. I think he's still been trying to make Texas Chainsaw Massacre with like the Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpse and
right, yeah,
exactly. They all look like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Exactly. Have you heard the bad news about the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
I heard it got delayed or something again. Or
it was sold to Netflix.
Yeah, I got sold to streaming. I didn't have much faith in it anyway.
Yeah, and if what I've heard about it is true, it's going to be shit.
We've got 3 decent Texas Chainsaw movies, and that's all we'll probably ever get.
Yeah,
maybe 4 if you count part 3, I guess.
Where you count like 1, 2, and maybe Leatherface.
Well, I actually liked the one
or Next Generation.
No, actually, I hate that one. I actually liked the 3D one that came out a couple years back that Adam Marcus wrote.
Oh yeah, the third one.
It's not a horrible film, and it would have been a much better movie had they went with his script. So, I mean, they use his script, but they fucked it all up.
Yeah, and he's like he said he didn't write the one line that everybody cringes at. Yeah, get her, cuz. Blizzard says maybe Rob will remake Pieces.
Never know.
Never know.
That's the one time I wouldn't recommend spending the extra money to import it. You're just better off picking up the 4-disc or multi-disc version of Texas Chainsaw that you can get here in the U.S. already from who released this? Dark Sky Films put this one out. So yeah, Dark Sky, the Dark Sky copy. It's what most people have anymore. I've seen it at in the bin at Walmart even.
That's crazy. My steelbook, I think mine was Shout.
Shout did one?
Or I'm not sure who did my steelbook because it's the 4K scan, like you said, but I can't remember.
It's a different steelbook than what I got, you mean?
Yeah, it's different steelbook. I showed it on here like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, the US one I got is actually a really nice set. Like I said, if I'd have known that this 4K version wasn't going to be any better, really, overall, I would have just stood with this. This is the one I got that came in that semi-truck. It had an apron, a bloody apron and shit like that.
That's cool. But hey, it's better looking box set than my steelbook, so
I'm not happy with what I spent on it.
I can't blame you there.
Is this Dolby? No, this is okay. Well, there's one difference. The one on here is didn't Dolby True HD 7.1, and the one on I imported has Dolby Atmos, actually. So there's a difference.
Oh, there is a difference. Maybe it's Dark Sky is what's on mine.
I just noticed.
I don't know why I said Scream or Shout, whatever.
Yeah, Dark Sky is who made this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, this is the version that's been available now for the last however many years. So, yeah.
Nice. It was a good pick. Good pick.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I guess.
Yep.
It is. And yeah, Glinzer, that's the one I
will-
was holding up. I just have the different cover than most people because I got the one that was in the big semi-truck box set thing.
I froze or something. You guys see me?
We can't see you, but we see your little.
Yeah.
Sorry,
there
it's
you
just
go.
like
Now we
everything
see
cut
you.
out on me.
Now we see you.
I have Samurai Cop.
Oh my god.
I didn't even know that was on Blu-ray.
Yes, this is on Blu-ray. It's actually a really good quality picture on here. But yeah, if you've not seen Samurai Cop, it is one of the best bad movies ever made. I mean, The Room is still number one, but I would have to probably be number two. If you've not seen it, it is an experience to behold. It's so good. It's so good and so bad at the same time.
I just remember seeing clips of that movie. I'm like, I've got to watch this because I love bad movies.
This is such a bad movie. Oh my god, it's just like I can't explain it, but I did tend to play a clip from it here once in a while. If you're wondering how bad this movie can get, let me show you.
Good job, guys. Calls for a celebration.
You got it. I'll see you back at your place.
And the scene right after that is him and her in bed naked. So the movie is so bad. It's so funny. It's so good. It's like you could tell they were going for like a Lethal Weapon type vibe in the movie, and it falls flat so bad.
I'm definitely gonna have to watch it because.
But Robert Zadar's in it, and he's really cool. He's really funny, and they like I even know they got him and Robert Zadar in it because he was Maniac Cop, so they wanted him in this because the movie was Samurai Cop. So that's literally why they got Robert Zadar in this movie.
Yes, Glinzer, Samurai Cop is perfect for street smarts. Smarts.
Street smarts.
Oh my god, some of the movies they watch on that show, I'm just like, wow. Watched a Neil Breen movie like a couple weeks back. Like, man, God bless Neil Breen. That guy's the Ed Wood of our time.
Yep. If you've not seen though, Samurai Cop, you should check it out because it's really bad and the acting is really bad. And his hair, he had real long hair at the time when they filmed it, and then after they finished filming the movie, he cut all of his hair off. And so when they had called him back to redo shoots,
oh no,
he had to wear a wig in the movie, and it is so freaking obvious because he's always got a ball cap on with the wig. And it's one of them wigs like you would buy at like a Halloween store, like a Walmart or something.
God,
it's so bad. Like it'll go from a scene and he's got normal hair and he like be trying to throw a kick or something, and it go to the next scene and you can tell it's a wig, especially in the big epic fight scene. Well, if you want to call it an epic fight scene, but yeah, it's so bad and it's just I don't know what they were going for in that, but I loved it. It was so good. And like he doesn't even brandish a katana till way late in the movie, so I have no idea why they like. Yeah, so
wait till the end for him to pull out the katana sword. It's like he's a samurai cop. He's supposed to be carrying it all the time.
Exactly. It's so bad.
I call him Samurai. He speaks fluent Japanese.
Are you Fujiyama?
What does katana mean?
It means Japanese sword.
Okay, that's enough of that.
Oh my god.
It's bad. But that was one of my picks for tonight. All right, Lindsay. Trust me, if you guys want to see that, just see it because it's worth it. It is totally worth it.
I will definitely have to hunt that down and watch it because I have a thing for bad movies. I have a love for bad movies. Oh my god! You
just did. Tom is always buying.
How many Blu-rays is that now, Tom?
Don't ask.
I want to know because, like you said, every week How many have you bought since we've done 10 of these shows? You missed the first one, so you've done 9. So how many Blu-rays have you bought since you've started?
Let me look. I mean, I get on average, I just get some, but as far as ones that you prompted, let me look here. Lindsey, I suppose, does hers, but yeah. Where's my orders?
I hate going on Blu-ray.com and seeing all these new releases. I'm just
Right.
like, I've got so much money to spend.
I know, and there's so
I
many
don't have
coming
a-
out in September and
I
October.
got so many pre-orders.
But like in September and October, there's like a million releases coming out are so good that just it's going to break so many banks for so many people.
I'm just waiting for Clockwork Orange in 4K, which is coming down the corner.
Hell Comes to Frogtown was one I grabbed while we were.
Oh yeah, I have that. That's a good one.
Bless Roddy Piper.
I love that movie. That's a good Vinegar Syndrome upscale there or scan. It's really good. It's really clear.
I got the Wraith, but I think I got that at the same time you did.
Yeah.
And then my thing won't go back any farther. So yeah, I don't know. I've got a couple though. I think I got a couple off of eBay too because I couldn't get them direct anymore.
God, the Wraith! I haven't seen that in ages.
Oh man, it's good. I just watched it on my Vestron. That was a good one.
What do you got for us, Lindsey?
Yeah. All right. So I saved the best for last.
What do you got?
Now, I can't express how much I love this movie. It's probably in my top 3 all-time favorite movies, and that is Creepshow.
Ooh, nice.
By Shout Factory.
I've been dying to get that one. I don't have that one.
Oh my god. And speaking of box covers, I don't care for this box cover.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's okay.
They were trying to be Arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because how big it is. And yeah, it looks like it.
And not only that, I can't remember who released Creepshow 2, but they released it in a similar box that I didn't get in time. So like I'm all pissy because now it doesn't match with my Creepshow 2.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, I'd rather have this as the cover because I mean, it's such an iconic cover. It's like the original movie poster. But
I feel you there. I get it.
Yeah, but it's like that was my only complaint. Other than that, like I watched the movie last night, and it's a beautiful transfer. Sound quality's great, and and it's chock full of bonus material.
I've heard it was a good release. It's one I've been meaning to get for a while now, and it's getting close to being going out of print. So I got to get it.
Creepshow 2 is already
Yeah, Creepshow 2 went out. It canceled Jeremy. I have the poster framed in my office. Cancel Jeremy has some really good shit. We definitely got to get him back on here. Like I said, Cancel Jeremy, I'm sorry. I should have invited you tonight because I forgot Runner wasn't coming. So next week, buddy. Next week.
Yeah, the regular edition of Creepshow 2 is still available, but that box set one is like $120 plus.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, I mean, with Creepshow, I know this movie in and out. I think I can practically quote every line of dialogue from that movie because I've seen it so many times. And I mean, as much as I love the Dead movies, I think Creepshow is by far my favorite Romero movie. If I had to pick.
Nice, it's a good one. I love it. You like Ed Harris dancing in it?
Yeah.
The problem with Creepshow and Creepshow 2, I've generally watched them together so many times. I sometimes forget which story is in which. Like I generally pretty good about it because it's the birthday one, the creature in the box, Ted Danson one, and
Roaches.
Roaches one, in the first one, right?
Yeah, so you got Father's Day, Lonesome Death of Jordy Verrill with Stephen King.
Yep.
Something to Tide
and
You
then
Over.
the Stephen King one,
Yeah. The crate, and then they're creeping up on you. And then 2 is Old Chief Woodenhead, The Raft, and The Hitchhiker.
The Raft.
Yeah, I'm not as big of a fan of the second one.
Yeah, The Raft is probably I mean, The Hitchhiker was okay, but The Raft I think was the best story on Creepshow 2.
But that is a good one, and that's one of my favorite Romero ones. But like I said, I can't beat the Dead movies.
Never watched.
I heard Creepshow 3 was pretty bad.
I heard too,
which wouldn't surprise me.
You
To
know,
me, the actual Creepshow 3 is Tales from the Dark Side.
there you go. That's not bad. Right there you go. And I will be honest with you. I've watched the first season of Creepshow on Shudder, the new TV series.
Is it good?
It's actually not bad. I actually really liked it. I like the it's Greg Nicotero who's doing it. So like the special effects are really good, but you can tell they didn't give him I haven't got to the second season yet, but they didn't give him a whole lot of money. So like he's doing his best with what he's got, and it's actually it's pretty darn good. There's some really good ones in it, and there's some bad ones, but there's some really good ones that he like accomplishes. Plus, Stephen King's son helps write on it too, so that plays in his favor. Joe Hill, yes. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Actually, there's a precedent for me having Tales from the Dark Side be my own personal Creepshow 3 is because George Romero created it, but not only that, the idea sprung from a Creepshow TV series. Like that's where the whole idea came from. Yeah. So there you go.
Well, and it's crazy to think that George Romero and Stephen King were originally going to work on a movie version of The Stand. Oh, what might have been?
It's crazy,
what
man.
Might have been.
But yeah, if you like Creepshow, I would suggest checking out the Creepshow TV show. It's not too bad. There were some really good ones in it, and
I've
like
heard good about it.
It's good. Like the very first episode's got Adrian Barbeau, Tobin Bell, Carlo. I can't think of his name. How you say his name from Breaking Bad? Gus Fring.
Oh, Giancarlo Esposito.
Yes, there you go. They're in the first, and they're a little wasted in the first episode, but it's pretty good, and it's got some pretty good. And it's all practical special effects. So.
Oh, nice.
It's like very little CGI used in any way, shape, or form. So,
yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. They brought Adrienne Barbeau for the TV series since she was in the movie.
Yeah.
Just call me Billy. Everyone does.
But it's good. It's not bad, and I enjoy the Creepshow. That's one I've been meaning to pick up for a very, very long time.
Good. And it's like I said, it's definitely in my top 3, like all-time favorite movies. It's been a favorite of mine since I was little. Like I've watched this movie in and out. And if anybody wants a good horror movie to watch, watch Creepshow and definitely buy the disc because Shout Factory definitely put some TLC into.
Yeah, they do. I love their work. They do really good stuff. And Cancel Jeremy says Romero and company couldn't use the name Creepshow for TV due to the rights, so they renamed their show Tales from the Dark Side.
I was thinking the same thing.
So there you go, Tom. So it is officially part 3.
Because the TV show was through CBS and Creepshow is owned by Warner, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. Good one.
So is it time for my last
Yes,
one?
it's time for your last pick, Tom.
All right. My last pick is not a movie this week, but it is a soundtrack. We finally, because back in 2016, I think it was, they released finally for the first time ever the actual score for Ghostbusters. Now we finally got the actual score for Ghostbusters 2 from Randy Edelman.
Nice.
About way overdue. I actually enjoy this score quite a bit. I know it's not Elmer Bernstein like the first film, but I like it. I do enjoy it. I'm glad that we finally got it. It's nice to see some of these classic releases that never really got a actual release the first time around. Because I mean, of course, the pop soundtracks for both films were huge.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, so like these were always overlooked. So yeah, it's kind of nice to finally have it. I don't know how complete it is. There's only 16 tracks and it's only on one disc, but same thing with the first film was. I still felt like it may have been missing something, but that of course leaves the door open for a full unlimited edition later on down the road anyway, right? So
right, that's a good one. I did not
get it right now though, pretty cheap. So because it's already sold out on Entrada, but Amazon has it I think for $12.99.
Good. I'll have to now. That'll be one I have to put in my Amazon list so I can.
You don't have the first one too, and I love how the uniformity with the first one because it's like the same kind of red band around it, and it looks really good with the first soundtrack.
Nice. That's a good pick. Good. I thought about bringing one of my soundtracks on. I'll have to do that next week.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah.
So yeah. That was a
I've
good
had a
one.
version for years that somebody made off of like the DVD where they just used like the 5.1 mix and they stripped away everything but the musics, but you can still subtly hear the sound effects and shit in the background. So it's nice to finally have an official release of it.
That's cool. That's still cool though. I'd still like to have that one with the sound effects in the background.
Well, it's funny because the Halloween version I have on record is like that, because I guess I don't know what happened if to the original files. I don't know, because I think I heard that the Halloween score was actually done digitally. But the version that's been on the soundtrack for years was a version that Alan Howarth put together while Halloween 2 was being made. So it's never been the official actual music from the soundtrack. So just like 2-3 years ago, like 2018 or 17 or whatever year it was that the reboot came out, Mondo released the actual mono soundtrack from the actual stems of the film soundtrack. But you can still subtly hear the sound effects and shit in the background. Like, it's really weird.
We got a $5 super chat from Glizner. He said, "We've all double or triple dip. Which title have you purchased the most?"
Oh my God, Glinzer. I'd have to think about that one. What about you, Greg?
I'm looking over here myself. Honestly, I would say Superman the movie. I probably own more copies of Superman the movie than any movie I own. Yeah, that's the easy one for me actually, because I've had the VHS, I've had two VHSs, I've had the DVD, I have the DVD box set, I have the Blu-ray, I have the Blu-ray box set, and I have the 4K of Superman the movie. So yeah, I probably bought that the most.
Lindsay?
I'm probably gonna say the Evil Dead trilogy, because I've got the director's cut of the Evil Dead, and then I've got the Book of the Dead edition, and then I've got the regular DVD of Evil Dead 2, and then I've got the Book of the Dead for Evil Dead 2, and I've got it was like 2 different versions of Army of Darkness, or 2 different releases. There was like it was like, what was it, Bruce Campbell versus director's cut, I think that's what it was called, because that was the one that had both the theatrical cut ending and the alternative ending, and then I had the boomstick edition of Army of Darkness.
Nice.
Yeah, the Evil Dead films and Army of Darkness I've bought in several times. Like, I'm not even going to count VHS. But because Halloween, the first film, has been released God knows how many fucking times between Anchor Bay, Shout Factory, all that kind of shit. I know I've bought that several times. Like, I had like 4 or 5 copies on DVD of Halloween at one point. Because, like, Anchor Bay released that movie annually in a different edition, I swear. They would always do something to upgrade it. Otherwise, probably my Day and Dawn of the Dead and Night of the Living Dead movies. Like, I got like an extensive collection of different versions of Night of the Living Dead. Like, a very extensive collection. And I'm not even talking about just the rare, like, or not rare, but, you know, like the random, like, because since it was public domain, like almost every random DVD company put out a version of it you could find in a dollar bin. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about various versions. Like, there was an Anchor Bay version that they actually added scenes to that they filmed and all this shit. Like, so I have various different versions of the film. So that's one I probably have the most of between all of them, between the Dead films and Halloween, and like Lindsay said, like the Evil Dead films, because they've been released so many fucking times. That and sometimes, like Evil Dead, I have the one where it's in the bound in the skin book thing edition.
Yeah,
I have the Anchor Bay also did like a multi-disc edition with all the goodies on it, so I have that version because I have to save that for all the special features because they've never carried all that shit over. I had the original Blu-ray, and now I have the 4K Blu-ray of Evil Dead. And I think I've even had another edition besides that at one point. I'm sure Anchor Bay's original edition of it way back when, you know. So yeah, like that's probably my ones that I have the most of. Otherwise, I'm trying to think.
I feel left out because like mine was Superman and your guys was like Halloween.
I do have
a
copy of Superman though too. You're right. Like, but no, just looking now, I have like 3 different editions of Evil Dead 2, for instance. Like, I have the Anchor Bay version, I have the Lionsgate version, and the 4K version.
Wow.
This is what. Hey,
And that's just in
bad,
Blu-ray. That's just Blu-ray. That's not even counting the DVD editions I have, and I probably have at least 2 different DVDs of Evil Dead 2. I bet, unless I didn't get rid of them. So
It's funny, you're an Evil Dead fan when you've got like multiple versions.
Rambo, I've got multiple versions of.
Right?
I'm a user of them too, but I just got like
because Rambo, I have the Blu-rays. Rambo, I have all the Blu-rays. Plus, then I bought the 4Ks when they released because I got them dirt cheap. And then last year they released that Steelbook box set, so I have that as well.
Yeah,
because that's the only way you could get the unrated version at that time of the last film. But now you can get it real cheap, which pissed me off. But anyway, moving on.
And for Glizner, for the $5, you get this. I still love that edit.
Blazing Saddles, like I mentioned earlier, too, I had multiple copies of, and Spaceballs.
Yes, Spaceballs. Yes, I probably have like Back to the Future too. I bought all the like Back to the Future.
I got all the Back to the Future ones. So, yeah, every release.
Yeah, that and Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
but I don't have the 4K set. But you do. So
yeah. Well, Indiana Jones has only been released once each, so that's not so bad.
See, like with me, like with my horror movies, because I'm a huge 80s horror fan and stuff, is like I just buy like the Shout or whatever copy is the most at the moment, and that's one I have. So,
I do have some movies where I have like import versions on top of, like Howard the Duck. I have the regular Blu-ray, the import Blu-ray, and now the 4K. For instance,
yes.
Like, and I have some movies like that too. So
that's another movie I need in my collection because I love Howard the Duck.
Well, and a lot of times it's just because the import version has like different special features and shit on it. Like, for instance, one of the better ones I have, like This Is Spinal Tap, has an entire concert on the import Blu-ray. Like, that's not on the US one, so it's really cool. Yeah, it's like a reunion concert. It's really awesome.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Well, it's like 20 years old now, but like I remember when it happened at the time. Like, it was like the 10th anniversary of Spinal Tap or whatever. So King Kong is another one I have.
Yeah,
tons of versions, especially because here's the thing. As we talked, I think it was one of did I bring it on last week or the week before, the 76 Kong?
A couple weeks ago, yeah, you brought it on.
Yeah, I have so many different imports of that movie because they never released it until now. So I've imported like, I don't know, a Japanese version, I believe an Italian version, and the UK Umbrella edition of King Kong before we finally got the almost at Anchor Bay Scream Factory edition. Yeah. Labyrinth is another one I bought multiple motherfucking times too.
And that's one I've still been meaning to get, the new Labyrinth anniversary special. I've been
I just
meaning
remember
to
we talked about that last week because I remember I mentioned that is literally like my third Blu-ray of that, and like I had like 2 or 3 DVDs before that.
So it was, yeah. And like people in the chat, Chad Riddle says about Star Wars, which I think a lot of us have done that too.
Yeah.
Canceled Journey, Star Wars trilogy, The Thing, Aliens, and Blade Runner.
Alien movies I bought a lot of times too. Yeah.
And Glizner's the Twilight Zone series 5 times he's bought it.
I managed to wait for the Blu-ray for the Twilight Zone. So I got lucky on that one.
I need to get that. That's one I really need to get. And I know Night Gallery's coming out on Blu-ray too.
So excited for that.
I
love Night Gallery.
Yeah.
I have
go ahead.
No.
I was going to say cancel. Jeremy says he has Alien and The Thing on 35mm.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
I officially have, at least that I have in my system here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 copies of Night of the Living Dead.
Dang.
Wow.
I have. Oh, here, I could probably just share this just so you guys can see it. Because they're, like I said, they're not like the cheapy, like, public domain versions either. As you can see here.
Okay,
they are, but we have the original Blu-ray release of Night of the Living Dead. We have the Criterion release. Then we have, this is that Anchor Bay one where they actually added scenes to, or this one is one of the two. Can't remember which. This is another Anchor Bay release of the film, though. One of them is just a straight release, okay? Then this was the George Romero approved one. I believe Lionsgate released it. So that has different special features in it. And then this is the one that actually is 20th Century Fox release that has the colorized version on it. So yeah, this isn't even all of them. Now that I'm thinking about it, I have like 1 or 2 other copies that aren't even in here. Because I have that one that like Runner shared on that one show too. That other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The like the
US
$5
one.
bin one.
Yeah, the $5 bin one, because I had imported one before that one came out, and then I got that one, and some reason I didn't scan it. But yeah, so that one's one I got plenty of copies of, as I show. So,
nice. You bought not a lot there. A lot there.
Oh, you don't want to know how many I got, man.
Blade
the only one
says,
who's beat me is what's his face? Cancel Jeremy. He's the only one who's got me beat, besides maybe R&B that I know of offhand.
Yeah, we totally need to get him on here too for this. Techman Blade says he's got the 1986 Transformer movie. He has 3 or 4 copies of it, and one I know that you didn't bring this up too, Tom, because I remember you said you bought a couple of these too. Flash Gordon is another one. He has a lot of copies of. Cancel Jeremy does.
Yeah, that one's been released a couple times, hasn't it?
Yeah. But yeah,
I have a couple copies of Phantasm as well.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, Phantasm.
I love the Phantasm.
That's a great choice.
Boy, Angus Grimm is awesome.
I've got 3 different versions of Predator as well. I forgot. I got the 3D version, the original Blu-ray release that sucks, and then I got the 4K box set.
So Tom, I was when I was looking up the Friday the 13th box set on Amazon, I noticed they had the Chucky box set. I'm so tempted to get that one too.
That one's not bad.
Yeah,
if you can find that one pretty readily at Walmart's usually. The one suggestion I would make though is, especially if you really love the first film, is to get the Scream Factory if you can get your hands on it, because that edition looks better and it has a ton of special features that aren't on the other one.
That was the best one in my opinion.
Yeah.
I almost brought that on today, but instead I found my Texas Chainsaw, so I grabbed that one instead. So
yeah. And Welgo releases a new version of Phantasm every 6 months. That's true. And I've been dying to get the ball set.
I have like the Anchor Bay DVD, and then I have I think I might even have the MGM DVD as well on that. If not, I have a copy of it somewhere. And then I also have the US Blu-ray release, the US box set Blu-ray release, and the one that came with the import with the ball. So yeah.
It releases that. Yeah, we got on all that after Tom's Ghostbuster 2 soundtrack.
Well, because what else are you going to say about the soundtrack? It's good. I mean, you've heard
it's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's either you're something you're into or you're not. I mean, there's no.
Yeah, I totally would pick it up. Those are one on my list.
For some reason, I got a ton of copies of Smokey and the Bandit. It looks like too. I shit you not. I got 4 different versions. It looks like.
That's funny.
I love Ghostbusters too.
Actually, 5. I didn't scan my one DVD. I know that.
I mean, I know Ghostbusters 2, the sequel's nowhere near as, it can't hold a candle to the original, but I think, I don't know, I loved it,
I like it too.
For what it was.
Yeah. Speaking of Clockwork Orange, I got a couple copies of that as well.
Oh, yes.
Well, it's because I had to buy that Digibook version as well.
Yeah, I've got the, I wonder if because I used to have that on VHS, and then I think I had my DVD, and then I've got the Steelbook. So now I'm just waiting for the 4K.
I don't have a Steelbook. I'm not a huge Steelbook fan though. Once in a great while, but
same here. I mean, I like them, but like they tend to get dented, and that pisses me off. So I try not to buy too many of them.
Exactly.
But since Clockwork Orange is another one of my all-time favorite movies, I had to get like.
I was tempted to, but instead I opted to get the foreign version that came with all the extra goodies. So like all the poster cards and all that shit.
Cancel Jeremy says, get the pirate commentary with writer-director Tom Holland for Child's Play. They didn't invite him to do one officially. For real?
Really? I did not know that.
That's some bullshit.
Where can you get that at?
Put it in the chat, because he put in those. Did you see he put in those commentaries for John Carpenter did for the Thing from Another World and Thing and for Rio Bravo?
Yeah, I remember him talking about that.
He put them in the chat, the physical media chat I made.
Oh.
Yeah, where you can download them. So go through there.
A chance to pay attention to shit.
Yeah, go through, but he's got them on there for you. They're pretty good.
Awesome. I'll check them out. Yeah, and I want to get a hold of that Child's Play one. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder why they wouldn't. I mean, but at the same time, I know that they kind of booted him from the movie.
Yeah.
I want to see his cut. I don't think it may necessarily be better, but I want to see it because it's like a half hour longer and darker, and
I would like to see that too.
Yeah, because they kicked him out of the movie and they recut it on him. Is what happened.
Poor guy. But yes, that sounds good, and I would like to see that too. I didn't know all about that. They kicked him out of the movie, so it's interesting.
Icons of Fright. All right, thanks, Cancel.
Icons of Fright. There you go. Hey, Martin, welcome. Greetings, Martin. Acosta Santana. I love Martin. He's a good guy. All right. For my final pick of the night is a Criterion of The Blob, starring Steve McQueen.
Ooh, I think I got that.
Yes, this is a good one, and it comes with a nice little inlet here of it folds out, but yeah. It's really good. I like the Blob movies. I'm a huge fan of these, and I love the remake of the 1980s Blob remake. I think it's one of the best remakes out there, along with like The Thing and all that. But yeah, just something about this 50s sci-fi black and white. Well, this was in color. I don't know why I said black and white, but yeah, but I just really liked it. And
that was one of the bigger budget sci-fi horror films of the time.
Yeah, it was like one of the all-time. I think this was like the biggest like drive-in 50s like sci-fi movie at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't. I've never seen the original. I've seen the remake, and I love the remake.
Yeah, that's the one I got. I got the remake from import, but I don't have the U.S. version of that.
I have the Shout. I'll bring that on next week. I have the Shout Factory.
I've been thinking about getting it.
It's pretty good. It's got a good.
It goes out of print. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I've watched it. I've watched that one, and it's got.
Yeah, the only reason I imported it is because it was never out on Blu-ray, but Shout just did it last year. I think it was.
Yeah.
It's like that's one movie that I watched all the time as a kid. Every time it came on, like one of the movie channels.
It was always on Showtime for my recollection.
Yeah. It's like Showtime or Cinemax, because those were the two movie channels we had. So,
and that's how I know what's his face's brother that's on Entourage. I can't even think of his name now.
Kevin Dillon, Matt Dillon,
or not?
Oh, Matt Dillon. Yeah,
Matt Dillon's brother. Yeah, Kevin Dillon. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's good, and the Blob with the Steve McQueen is a really good one. It's it's just one of those classic 50s sci-fi drive-in things. I just really like it. Criterion did a heck of a job on it, and it's got so many great special features on here. So it's a 4K digital restoration. So
I'm sure that'll be one Criterion will do a 4K version. I was about to say,
I'm sure we'll get a 4K of this with uncompressed monaural soundtrack.
Because I got War of the Worlds in 4K on digital.
Nice.
Ooh,
it actually looks pretty good because it has HDR. So yeah.
So that's cool. But yeah, so if you've not seen the original Blob, I would recommend it, because then if you've seen the remake and then you go back and you watch this, you can see where they've paid, tribute to the original movie. And I like
what about Beware of the Blob?
The song by the one and only what's his name? Burt Bacharach. Burt Bacharach.
That was the Burt Bacharach.
Yeah, you say that, I can hear it totally.
Yep, did it. So good.
Beware of the Blob. And then the sequel is actually called Beware of the Blob.
Yes, and it was made by JR from Dallas.
Oh, that guy from My Dream Team.
Well, he's in it, but did he actually make it?
Yes, I believe he directed it.
Really? Wow, I didn't even pay attention to that. I have it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he directed it. It was some kind of deal he made with them to make his
interesting
that. So yeah, it's all right. It's also called The Son of the Blob, but
in some places, yeah.
Yes.
Or the alternate title, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Whatever you would call it. But yeah, and I do like in spoilers for anybody who has not seen the 80s Blob or the original Blob, I do like how the Steve McQueen character in the 80s Blob is literally killed off in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, I think they even kind of have a goofy little thing with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's what I love about that remake too, is they don't just it's not lazy. They do a really good job with it. And what's funny is it came out right around the same time as Ghostbusters 2. So it was the whole pink slime thing again. I remember that being so of the time. And then but the director of that remake was actually Chuck Russell, who directed Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and then went on to do The Mask afterwards. So, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that explains why the movie's good. He did Dream Warriors.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. And the stuff, Martin says, every time I remember the Blob, I think about the stuff.
Oh, the stuff's a
I
great
love the stuff.
movie.
I have the stuff as well from Arrow.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I
So-
got that one.
Yeah.
It has to be Larry Cohen's best movie, but then I haven't seen any of his other movies. But
Oh, he's got some other ones that are pretty good.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I know there's like It's Alive and Q, the Winged Serpent. And...
Yeah, I got
Perfect
It's
Strangers.
Alive. All right.
Yeah, but
So that's it. We're done.
yeah, that's it. And there you go. And
No,
the Cancel
go
Jeremy,
home.
the Blob remake is great. It's near perfect script. Yeah, it's pretty
2
good.
hours
It's-
went pretty goddamn quick, actually.
yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
I enjoyed everybody's picks tonight. Lindsay, you brought some great ones, and Tom, you brought some good ones. Runner, you brought Runner went here.
Shut up, Runner.
Shut up, Runner. He's a good kid, and I'm glad to have him
I
on here.
know.
I'm trying to get him into stuff like we show him what can be done with physical media. What you
No, I
can
actually
get.
enjoy hearing the younger generation's reaction to films, especially if they get into them, right? Like,
Right.
That's why I don't know if he's still in the chat, but like, Jeff was in the chat earlier, sent super chat. Like, that's what I love talking to him because he's so receptive, and he always has great questions, and he gets so into it, and you can tell he genuinely has an interest in it. And
Are you talking Mega Jetty?
yeah,
no.
not Mega Jetty,
The Rookie Critic.
But Mega Jetty, Mega Jetty grew up with a lot of good stuff. He knows all kinds of
Yeah.
Oh, Rookie Critic's a youngin', huh?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. But he's
I forgot Jeff or Mega Jetty's like in his early 30s.
Yeah, he's a little older.
Doesn't sound like it, but
But yeah, like you said, I talked to the Rookie Critic about They Live, and just to hear his thoughts on that movie and how much he actually enjoyed the fight scene. He was talked about how it made him learn so much about each of those characters in the fight scene, about who they are and how far they would go. So I really liked hearing his perspective on that.
I don't want to fight you, punch.
But it was good.
I'm
And
here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Kick-ass.
I'm all out of bubblegum.
wait, Frank Darabont was involved in the Blob?
Yeah,
Or
probably
the
because
remake?
Frank
Oh, wow.
worked with him on Nightmare on Elm Street 3 as well.
mhm.
Oh,
Yep. Yeah, Frank Darabont was one of the co-writers of Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
dude is a legend.
The Blob was Chuck Russell and Frank Darabont. Yes,
Yep.
yes, it was. Yep. Shawnee Smith is very proud of the Blob, too. One of her favorites she's ever done. She's really good. I always liked young Shawnee Smith.
She was
Yeah, that
great.
was-
Yeah.
The Blob was basically Chuck Russell and Frank Darabont's graduation present.
Yeah.
No,
Wow.
because Chuck Russell always called Nightmare on Elm Street his bar mitzvah present. So basically, yeah. Then
Oh man,
yeah.
The Hidden. That's another one I haven't seen in ages.
Oh yeah, that's an older.
That one needs a Blu-ray release, if that, or does it?
I don't know. I'm
not sure if that is on Blu-ray. That's a good question.
Yeah.
So we'll have to look that one up.
Because that one's one that always gets brought up when you talk about Jason Goes to Hell.
I know a lot of people hate that. I know you guys, but I really love Jason Goes to Hell. I just really like that movie.
I have an see. That's one of those movies that I like because it's so bad, right? Like, and you got to remember at the time that came out, we hadn't had a Jason movie in like 5 years. For some of us, it was our first and what they boasted as our last chance to see Jason on the big screen at the time.
Yeah.
So I mean, it felt like a big deal when it happened, but it just kind of fell flat. I mean, the bigger bit was we got the promise of Freddy versus Jason, then we had to wait
years and years for it, of course, yes. But yeah, I think that's
there
about
you go.
it. There.
Cancel Jeremy says The Hidden is on Warner Archive Blu-ray, which
Yeah,
brings
Warner
it right
Archive.
back around to the start.
Right back to where One Crazy Summer, and I bet it's like $20 for it too.
Probably.
Yeah. With nothing on it.
Yeah, I got the thing from Another World from
Yeah,
Warner
you brought that one up
Warner
last
Archives.
week. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
don't
I
get me
think I
wrong,
paid
though.
$20 for it.
I don't want to bash on it. Like the fact that they actually are taking the time to release these movies, I really don't want to shit on it. But
Right.
they could just bring that price point down just a smidge. I'd be willing to still pay $15 for most of these movies. It's just
Me too. And maybe add a couple special features, maybe though.
I mean, I won't. I won't ask or complain, but I don't care. Honestly, at this point, with the way things are, I would be happy if they just put the original EPK on there.
Yeah.
The electronic press kit, for those who don't know what I'm saying. But like, yeah, like even if I just get that, it's like, okay, well, at least we got that for just like preservation, like, because no, I do miss special features big time. Mm-hmm. But I don't really give a shit about newer films having special features.
Same here.
Yeah.
What, you sat in front of a green screen? Good for you.
Yeah. You looked at a tennis ball for 2 hours and how do I react to this tennis ball?
Yeah, there's nothing to it. They never have the juicy stories anymore. And that's the other problem, is they're too close to the production now. Like, that's what I always loved about the golden age of when they started doing the Laserdisc and DVD special editions, is when they would do some of the classic films, they were so far removed that all the people that were involved in those movies were no longer at the studio anyway, so they could say whatever the fuck they wanted then. Yeah. And you really got the real true stories about these movies. And like, I miss that. That's the stuff I miss. I mean, that's kind of what got me into Midnight's Edge to begin with, is like, I want the true story. I've been one of those guys who's always said, I would love to see a movie about the making of Jaws, or a movie about the making of Star Wars. To me, the story about the making of those movies is just as interesting as the movies themselves.
I agree.
That's true. And that reminds me, to bring it back to one of my picks, Vamp. It has a really great making behind that, where they tell a lot of stuff that you probably wouldn't get on today's DVD. Like they talk about, like Dee Dee Pfeiffer talks about how Grace Jones brought her dildo to set every day and would demand people to find it and bring it to her if she lost it.
Wow.
I mean, that's stuff you would probably not hear about on a lot of stuff today.
Exactly. So. I love those. And I mean, they've been kind of co-opted by like, the fan-made documentaries, which, don't get me wrong, are really great. They've kind of adopted the whole idea of being able to do it outside of the studio system. And I love every one of those we get, but they're just so rare anymore that it does suck. It does suck that at least Arrow and Shout and a couple of those guys out there are still putting the effort in. Sometimes better than others, but hey, you can't complain this day and age. That's the sad part.
Yeah, it was true, because they talked about some real good stuff, and apparently Grace Jones was really crazy on the set of that movie. And
I've heard some pretty crazy stories about that woman. Yes.
Yeah. That's she was actually supposed to be more of the movie. She's not in a whole lot of it actually, but it's because she would never show up, and when she would show up, like they talked about, she would bring her dildo and all kinds of shit. So it was crazy.
She would come out of I heard stories like she would come out of the thing all naked and shit, and like demand certain people would fuck her, and so she was just like fucking crazy. Like
Yep, that is true. They talk a little bit about that too. Yeah, she was.
She's the manliest woman you'll ever meet.
It's true,
but she's all woman. That's what I've heard. Like,
it's good stuff.
She will eat your ass alive.
That's good stuff.
You got to climb up to get to that shit.
And on that note, we will end it. Been going about 2 hours, and thank you to everybody in the chat. Cancel Jeremy, Cosmic Squirrel, Glizner, Martin Costa Santana, Tekken. What was his name? Tekken Blade Man. I can't remember. Sorry. Yeah, Tekken Man Blade. Chad Riddle, Anthony Draven. Yeah, sorry, Tekken Man Blade. Sorry if I said Jeff, the rookie critic, Mega Jetty, Tom. Thank you once again for the $20. Nate knows reviews. Thank you. Your questions help the stream there a little bit at times. With asking us like, what's your favorite zombie? What's your favorite this? So that's cool. Thank you guys, and to everybody watching. I appreciate it. And so what can I end it on, Tom? Let's see. Oh, one of my favorites. I still like this. Tom singing us out with 80s Night.
Oh yes, it's 80s night and the feeling's right. Oh yes, it's 80s night. Oh what a night. Oh what a night. Oh yes, it's 80s night and the feeling's right. Oh yes, it's 80s night. Oh what a night. Oh what a night.
Dudes.